All right, folks. Scott Dill, owner of Texas Home Loans. Let's walk through a mortgage purchase for a veteran using their VA entitlement. So, as you can see, we're on my website here, Texas Home Loans Mortgage Calculator tab, and let's walk through this. So, let's put in a home, 400,000 for your purchase price, and you're going to down payment. You can leave that at zero since you're using your certificate of eligibility, which gives you zero down payment. So you have a base mortgage amount of 400,000. We're going to go off of a person who's exempted from the funding fee. So a lot of the veterans that I work with have exemptions, but if you don't have an exemption, then there will be a funding fee onto here. And it's a 30-year fixed interest rate. Let's go with 6.5. As you can tell, that's much lower than most of the competition. Why is that? Well, we talk about this in our other videos and how banks will increase their margins on veterans. We don't do that here. So on a relative scale, we're amazing. On an absolute scale, we're just not stealing from veterans. We don't think that's right, and we don't think that we don't condone this, and we hope that we shed some light on other people's kind of dirty practices. The VA funding fee will be zero in this case because this is an exempt a person who is exempt from the VA funding fee due to their disability status. So final mortgage amount of 400,000. Property tax. This is a key point. Now, most people will they think if they're exempt for the VA funding fee that they're exempt from property taxes. Those are two different situations. One is approved through a certificate of eligibility through the Veteran Affairs and has to do with your disability. The other one is with the state. So you have to take that document and get it to the state and get them to accept your disability to not pay property taxes. So just because you're exempt from your certificate of eligibility funding fee does not mean you don't have to pay property taxes. So let's assume this is not filed with the state since you're doing a purchase and you haven't done this yet. You don't own the property and this has not been completed. So let's assume taxes. A lot of these mortgage calculators online will be very misleading. They'll have 1%, 0.5%, 1.2% for property taxes. Let's put 2% in to be safe. And as I talk about in my other videos, some of these new development areas, some of the new construction, they hide the fact they have to pay a MUD tax, which is municipal urban development. They have to pay for the roads and the sewers and the schools. Those things are very expensive. So you can pay 2.8%, 3%, 3.2%. I've seen some very high taxes. So people are like, oh, I get this house so cheap. And then you're like, well, look at the taxes. They're killing you. So even on like the house, maybe only 300,000, but the actual mortgage payment is the same as a $400,000 house because of that high tax rate. So watch out for those hidden fees, as it were. Builders are famous for that. So proper homeowners insurance, let's put $1,800 a year just to be safe. It might be a little bit lower. Let's assume no HOAs. So now we have a payment of $33.44 a month. So that's with a 6.5 interest rate, zero down, $400,000 loan. And that gives you a breakdown here of all your payments and then the summary. That gives you a very good idea of what that payment will be. I get a lot of people, they say, oh, these mortgage calculators online, they're telling me it's so much lower. And I'm like, I've been doing this for over 2 decades. I know what this payment will be. I don't have any advantage to mislead you. You need to know your exact payment because the first question you want to know in buying a home is, does the payment fit my budget? That's the most important budget. Well, other than do I want to live there? You've already decided that since you're considering it. So with this house, you need to have an accurate assessment as to what the monthly payment will be, and think worst case. What happens if a person loses their job? If you got 2 people borrowing, can I still afford this payment? Do I have enough in reserves? How many months can I live off my reserves in case something does happen that's unfortunate? So I witnessed a lot of people's financial situations over the years, and I would have to say it's best to plan for the worst, hope for the best. That's the best course out. So hopefully this gives you a very good idea on how to calculate your purchase payment on a VA loan. You go to our calculator here, you can move that loan amount around. You can call me for an interest rate. We give the lowest quote in the first call. Unlike most people, I know it's kind of strange. Everybody's like, why doesn't everybody do that? It makes more money. The used car lot business model, which is almost all banks and mortgage companies, where they try to gouge you in the beginning, they check with their manager and give you a good deal only after you force them. It's highly profitable. That's why they do it. They don't do it because they want to steal from you or they're just scummy people. Well, they could be scummy people. I mean, they are doing something kind of scummy, which is lying to you and saying this is my best rate and coming back and saying, well, this is my new best rate. But they're most likely it's just for profits. They just want to stick you with a higher interest rate, which gives them a higher commission, and they make more money on you, and the bank makes more money on you over 30 years. So be wary of this. If somebody's not giving you a good quote in the first round, that means their intent is to make that high profit. And as that loan goes along, something may come up, and those hidden fees, and because their intent is to make that higher profit. We don't do that. We run a smooth ship here, an efficient ship, something that runs efficiently. And because it runs efficiently, we don't have to charge you those high margins. It's real simple. Efficiency equals lower prices. That's it. There's no magic sauce here. Hopefully this explains everything. Give us a call. We'll give us our lowest quote in the first round, and we'll go from there.